read a quote by Roderick Haig Brown that said, "I don't know why I fish, but maybe it's just an excuse to go to rivers." That really affected me, and that's exactly how I feel. But I also heard another quote that goes, "A river without friends is a river dead." In this episode, we're going to fish the Grand River in southern Ontario that's famous for its brown trout fishery. This incredible fishery would not be possible without people who care about the river. I'll be joining Rob Voisin from Friends of the Grand to learn how anglers can truly make a difference. It's going to be a great show and a fascinating exploration of this trophy trout river.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish.
Absolutely fantastic. Nice. Oh my goodness, that's the kind of fish they make stickers out of.
The new fly fisher is supported by RTO4, Tourism Innovation, Elora and Fergus Tourism, Wellington County, Friends of the Grand River, Scientific Anglers.
The Grand River is one of Canada's top fly fishing destinations. Declared a heritage river, its headwaters are at the base of the Bruce Peninsula and flow to Lake Erie in the south, stretching 173 miles in length. Fly fishers from around the globe come to the upper section of the river in Fergus and Elora for the experience. From the flat, easy-wading limestone section between Bellwood and Fergus to the escarpment between Fergus and Elora, where cliffs tower 60 feet above you. Annual stocking of the Grand River with approximately 30,000 brown trout by the Ministry of Natural Resources began in 1989. By the mid-1990s, the stocking program was recognized as a complete accomplishment. Over the years, anglers of all ages have been successful in catching and releasing trophy-sized brown trout. Nymph fishing, streamers, and especially dry fly fishing are techniques successfully used by fly fishers to catch these beautiful trout. In 1994, a group of trout enthusiasts formed Friends of the Grand River with the goal of developing projects which will preserve, conserve, and enhance the ecology of the watershed. In 1995, they were officially recognized as a nonprofit conservation organization. Joining me today is Friends of the Grand River Board Chair, Rob Voisin. Rob lives on the river and has walked its shores daily. This should be fun. Now, Rob, it's been a number of years since I've been here, but this place used to light up near the evening with dry fly action. Mostly stalkers, but there is some big fish in there.
Oh, yes, there is. We're going to see some stalker action here for sure. It's a great place to learn to hook fish with the dry fly. But yes, there's going to be a lot of big fish in and out of here as well.
Yeah, they can't resist it. It's an easy meal.
Oh, see, a guy refused it there. Yeah, he refused it. Fish on. There we go. Hooked up pretty quickly there. There's a whole bunch of fish back there, just sipping off the surface. It's interesting. It's the one kind of shaded area of the pool. There's stalkers rising everywhere, but there seems to be a concentration of them. These barbless hooks are really important with the stalked fish, because you can pop it right out. Didn't take long for me to hook up here, so Maybe we figured something out, maybe we haven't, but we're gonna keep trying, that's for sure.
I've been in love with the Grand River since 1990. It's a resource that needs to be protected. Lee Mhof once said, "A river without friends is doomed to oblivion." This river does have friends. An all-volunteer organization called Friends of the Grand River. Listen as club chair Rob Voisin talks about some of the work they do.
Hi, I'm Rob Boyson, President, Friends of the Grand River. For almost 30 years, Friends of the Grand River has been focused on this beautiful watershed here in Center Wellington. Starting at the Shan Dam and ending in Westmont Rose, this 27-kilometer stretch of river that we're focused on runs through high, steep banks and rock bottoms, all the way into beautiful farmers' fields towards the end, and it's something that we want to keep as precious as it's always been. There are many ways in which Friends of the Grand River focuses on this river. One is to make sure that each year we're working on tree planting projects, focused on cold water streams recently, where we can ensure that we are working on bank stabilization, providing shade to those streams, enhancing the aquatic habitat for those small rivers, which eventually flow into our large river. Yeah, this little pod of fish is starting to move a bit again. Fish on. That's wild, eh? That's the crazy part, is you don't know, that could be a 20-inch fish or a stalker when they're slurping like that.
Oh, it's carp there. Yeah, I see him now.
There we go. We've been trying to figure out these stalkers for a little bit. Everyone thinks, oh, it's a stalker. They must be easy to catch. It's just not true. They adapt so quickly to their environment that they are an incredible training ground for us. There she goes.
A few years ago, I had the pleasure of fishing with professional guide Mikey Metcalf. Mikey's been guiding clients on the Grand River for many years. He believes that the river is mainly a morning and an evening fishery, but if you're patient, it can be magical. Benefits that we all reap thanks to the hard work of Friends of the Grand River.
Nice cast, Bill. There you go. Good work, Bill.
A lot of bad casting. I've been casting 9 weights for the last 3 weeks, and now I'm on a 5 weight, and it's a big difference. I'm throwing lots of tailing loops, but I finally got it out.
You stuck it out, though. That's the important thing.
And this feels like a decent fish. Oh, yeah, good fish.
That's a nice fish, Bill.
It's a good fish. Yeah, it's a good fish.
There you go.
Now, Mikey, you gonna
Come
be my
down.
net boy?
Yes, sir. Want me on the other side?
Yeah, on the other side of me, I guess.
Nice fish, Billy.
Yeah, it's a good fish. Not huge, but it's good.
Sure is.
Got him. Woo!
Good job, Billy.
Now, before I fall in, we've run into an old friend. Rob Heel, who I did a show with a couple years back, is gracefully volunteered to help us out tonight, and he helped me a lot. Thanks a lot, Rob. This is a hard-fought brown on a dry fly. He took a caddis emerger. We got mayflies, spinners falling down, and caddis coming off, so awesome. Just awesome. And away he goes.
Good job, Billy.
The University of Guelph is one of the partners who contributes to the health of the Grand River through scientific monitoring and analysis. I spoke with Ryan Prosser from the university about what they are assessing and why it's important.
So monitoring benthics, basically monitoring benthic invertebrates, it is a measure, it gives us an idea of the health of the river. If you have a healthy population of benthic bugs at the bottom, you know you've got a healthy river. So it's probably going to be good for fish and for other organisms. Yeah, so the type of invertebrates we would be looking for in the Grand River are things like mayflies, caddisflies, stoneflies. I mean, these insects are an indication of a healthy river. You've got good water quality. So we're out here on the Grand River. What we're doing today is sampling the benthic invertebrates in the river. Benthic invertebrates is just sort of a fancy term for the bugs that live on the bottom of the river. And they'll emerge, right? So at certain points in the year, whether it's the spring or the fall, they'll emerge. You probably know them as mayflies or caddisflies or fish flies. But they live the majority of their life at the bottom of the river. And they grow, and then they just simply emerge to mate, lay eggs, and die. But anyway, they're a really good indicator of the health of the river, the water quality. So certain bugs will be present if you have good water quality, you've got a healthy river. They won't be present if you have an issue with water quality. There are other bugs that we know are more tolerant to pollution and poor water quality. So basically, we look at the bug community because they don't really move very far. We can sample them really easy. So they give us sort of a picture of the water quality, the health of the river at a certain point.
The Grand River is famous for dry fly fishing, thanks to the abundant hatches it enjoys throughout the season. Mikey Metcalf and I got out on the Grand for a late afternoon hatch, which turned out to be spectacular.
Steady, Bill. Yep, there you go. Oh!
Good old usual. That was a very active fish. And I think it's a good size fish. This is a 5-weight rod. And this is a decent sized fish. Oh yeah, nice fish, nice fish.
Beautiful fish, Bill.
That was worth the wait. We didn't know what they were taking, whether they're taking caddisflies, mayflies, and there's crane flies happening right now, we didn't know. But right now I put a usual on, and it's like a blue-winged olive colored, a little large, but he was eating potatoes, but he wanted a little steak, I think.
We got BWO spinners on the water. We got crane,
Yeah.
caddis, the old usual, eh?
Usual, yeah. Okay,
Pretty fish,
I'm
too,
gonna back
isn't
up a bit.
Yeah. Get it to your side. I don't want to get wrapped around. Ready to take her home?
Yep.
Right in.
Good man.
We are working hard.
Oh, and that's a good fish.
That's a beautiful fish there.
Oh, Mikey, what a way to end the day.
Wow.
That was a great fish. What a way
Sure
to
was.
end the day.
They made us work for them, but we got the job done at the end of the day, and that's all that mattered. We got them in the net.
And we got them on dry flies. We
Yes.
accomplished our goal to do it on dry flies. Lots of observation.
Right from the start, one of the biggest fans of the Grand River and the brown trout stocking program was Dr. Jack Mhof.
My name is Jack Mhof. I'm an aquatic ecologist and formerly a Ministry of Natural Resources biologist for a lot of years, and then more recently with Trout Limited Canada as their national biologist. In 1994 is when Friends of the Grand was founded. And Friends of the Grand were established basically to be the stewards of this section of Upper River. And they've done a fantastic job ever since. They've been very active with the stocking program, they've been active with the conservation, active with the special regulation, waste management, and also providing access to anglers. And we're instrumental in helping develop the Upper Grand Tailwater Fisheries Management Plan. This reach of the river is probably the reset. So it's critical. By reset, I mean that you bring cold water in again, stabilize the flows, and you maintain healthy habitat and environment. And that translates into healthy habitat and environment going downstream. So managing this, continuing, I should say, to manage this reach of river all the way down through West Mount Rose and below as a healthy system is essential to the health of not only the Upper Grand, but the Central Grand as well. This river has an enormous biomass of aquatic invertebrates. Up the upper river here, just below the dam, primarily a huge population of sow bugs, also scientific name is Acellus, and they provide a food source all through the year and into the winter. And then that's augmented by small minnows that we also find here, but also other bugs, huge caddisfly production. This river is enriched. I mean, we have agriculture upstream of the Shannon Dam that brings a lot of dissolved phosphorus into the system. That phosphorus makes green things grow, and that green things provides a food source for aquatic bugs. So this river is not over enriched, but it certainly is enriched, and that maximizes the biomass of bugs that the fish feed on. On top of that, this upper reach, especially between here and Fergus, because of the bottom draw, means that the fish actually are growing even in the wintertime. That's unusual in southern Ontario. Most of our fish, once the rivers get cold, they stay cold. The fish sort of set down by late November. They're more or less dormant. They may eat a little bit in the wintertime, but not very much. They probably hold their weight, but they do not gain weight or growth. This river, they do both. They gain weight and growth, which is one of the reasons why we have some examples of huge brown trout coming out of this reach river all the way down, almost down to West Mount Rose.
One of the main reasons that the Grand River is such an incredible trout fishery has to do with the special regulations that were implemented back in the early 90s. Friends of the Grand River, in partnership with the Ministry of Natural Resources, made many of these sections specially regulated. These special regulations on the majority of this upper stretch of river include single barbless hooks, no live bait, and catch and release, so that every trout that we do catch is properly handled, released, and there for other angling opportunities in the future.
There's a lot of fish rising, but none of them would take. As the sun was slowly going down, we took a break on the river's edge for a few minutes. It was getting cooler, so we layered up and gave it one last try, hoping for a rising trout.
There we go, Bill. He's gonna take that.
Now, if you take a trout and turn him upside down, he won't fight you.
During our trip to southern Ontario, we had the pleasure of speaking with Tristan Vogel, the project manager for the Grand River and Waterloo region. She and her team have created and implemented a plan to enhance the access points to the Grand River for everyone.
So tourism development on the Grand has been really expanded during the pandemic. We recognized an influx of users to the river as people were really trying to get outside and do self-guided tours and that kind of experience. And so we recognized the need for these access points to be safe and clean for users to use. So we created the signage and style guide for the Grand River, as well as a pilot site design standards so that we could create a similar looking product across the river. So we're standing at Wilson's Flats, which is the first pilot site for those pilot design standards. So we've added washrooms and signage and wayfinding. We've added parking, turnaround parking for trailers, as well as picnic spaces so they can stop and have a snack if they want as well. And so this site really is our pilot site to then be able to show other municipalities what we can do. The work that the Friends of the Grand River is doing is incredibly important to us. We work closely with the Friends of the Grand on access point projects, including here at Wilson's Flats. They were a partner with the Township of Centre Wellington to get these kinds of projects. They're a great advocacy group for us moving forward.
One morning I met up with friend and professional guide Rob Heel to do some nymph fishing on a popular part of the Grand River.
There's another one. Starting to
Looks like they're turning on,
pick up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little better. Was he right in that seam there?
Yeah.
It's a decent fish. Yeah. Yes, sir. That's the ticket that today was dialing down the size of our fly. We're down to size 20s and 22s. The midges are happening right now, and that's what the fish are on. Let's see what we got here. Feels decent. Okay. Okay. There's the size of the fly. It's like a size 22 midge. There are fish over 20 inches here. In the past, over the years, I've caught many of them over 20 inches. And we just got to find them. And we got lots of that size fish. We'll keep the action going all day for you pretty much if that's what you want.
While fishing in the Fergus area, I had a chance to speak with Christina Mann about the importance and the influence the Grand River has on the community, both in terms of development and economics.
Elora Fergus is a great place to visit today for the same reason it's been an attractive place to settle in the past 100 years and longer. It's a natural beauty carved by the Grand River that makes this such a special place to be. The Grand River really influences this community in so many different ways. It inspires its arts and culture, and it really imprints on this community beyond the outdoor experiences it offers. It's evident when you walk down the road and you see the outdoor installations, the galleries, and the beautiful Center for the Arts they have here in Elora, that arts and culture is an important part of this community.
You never know who you're going to run into on the river. Rob Heel and Mikey Metcalf showed up. I invited Rob to fish with us as Mikey was tired after a full day of guiding. I really believe he's there to heckle me. We're standing on the bank waiting for the fish to start feeding. It's only then that we wade into the water. It's important to wade slowly and not cause any ripples on the surface. If you're careless when wading, you will put the fish down.
Wow. Listen to that Hardy. Listen to that Hardy scream. You gonna net it, Rob?
That was tough. We had a lot of good
Yeah.
good fish.
Good rising. Not very often you get a jumper.
I actually watched that take, and he just sipped it. He didn't even break the surface. You didn't even know he took it, eh?
Oh, no, I knew he took
yeah.
it. I was just, yeah.
I just saw the lips.
Fly, so.
I had come back to get my coat on. I was cold, and all I heard was that reel go off.
No, I know.
It's still pretty green.
Yeah. In the net, baby.
Good job, Robert.
Beautiful fish.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Nice fish.
Nice butterball right there. Great fish, buddy.
Look at how creamy, or how
Look at that
caramely
thing.
looking it is.
Gorgeous. That's a thick fish.
Oh yeah.
It's
20,
thick.
20 inches.
20 inches.
That little female, not a little female. Pretty female.
Beautiful.
Nice. Good job, buddy. Well done, sir.
As you can see, we're losing light fast, so it's time to go home. We're lucky to live in Ontario and reap the benefits of a great volunteer organization such as Friends of the Grand River. I'd like to thank Rob Voisin for being my guide and all the volunteers that maintain the river I call my home waters. For more information on this show and others in our informative series, visit us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us. Tight lines, and we'll see you next time.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by RTO4, Tourism Innovation, Elora and Fergus Tourism, Wellington County, Friends of the Grand River, Scientific Anglers.